George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. Well, y'all want to know what's going on with this traffic, with the roundabouts driving us crazy? I'm going to tell you, it's all because of this lady right here. No, not really. But TeNesha Murphy is the Public Information Officer for the New York State Department of Transportation. And as you know, we are in the midst of some major changes to the landscape of Syracuse and Central New York due to the viaduct downtown Syracuse. Is it 1.4 miles? Is it 1.4? How about that? Hey! The 1.4 mile viaduct going through downtown Syracuse is coming down, and that is reshaping how we do traffic here in Syracuse and Central New York. And so at first, I wanted TeNesha to tell me when I'm going to get to have my convenience restored. But then I said, well, let me open it up and ask her about a few other things. But let me start generally, TeNesha, how are we doing on overall with this project?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on, George. It is an honor to just be on your program. So I appreciate the ask. And I'm happy to discuss the project because I feel like as part of my job is to let the community know when they're going to see some relief. Mm-hmm. And the good news is that two of our major construction zones that we've been working in are about to finish up. So that's the good news. And then, a couple of the other projects there's a construction area that's going to finish up next year and then the following year. And so we're starting to get towards the end. We're at the beginning of the end, I will say.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Right, so, let's talk about what's going to finish up.
Yes. So what's finishing up is our work in Cicero. That was the first where we started our construction in 2023. So all the work that we're doing in Cicero will be, most of it will be complete by the end of this year, I will say. So the northern interchange in Cicero will be complete by the end of this year. That means the 481 I-81 connection in Cicero will be, all the work there will be complete by the end of this year. There's 2 ramps that we've had closed for quite a while. Those 2 ramps will be open. And then all of our connections from 81 to 481 to the new business loop 81 will be complete. And folks will see some relief from that. Another big piece of our work in Cicero is the South Bay Road Bridge. And so we are working on that bridge. And right now it's down to just northbound traffic. But by the mid-December, we'll open that back up to northbound and southbound traffic. And so the folks in Cicero can see some relief this winter driving across that bridge again. Ooh. And then on the south side in Syracuse, where we also started working in the Valley back in 2023, we're going to be completing those connections by the end of this year. So the work on the southern interchange, which is, basically the opposite of the northern interchange, that work, where you have the 2 roundabouts on East Brighton Avenue. We have a brand new, beautiful exit at East Glen for people to get off on if they're traveling on I-81. And then those connections, those ramps that we're missing will be coming back online.
Love it. All right. So I call the East Glen off ramp is the unmarked it's right. It's so funny.
Secret now.
It's a secret. You know what's funny? Because my daughter, we were coming back, coming down, and she didn't get off at Brighton, right? I was like, where you going? She, you know how she was like she know, because I'm like, you need to get off, right? So she's like, don't tell me I know where I'm going, right? And then she gets off this little secret. It's a secret, but it's an open secret, right? She gets off at this secret little no sign ramp. I was like, oh, y'all ain't playing over here. So now that I've discovered that, I feel like I know what I'm doing now. So that will be the new exit for. So will Colvin still be there, or will it?
Yes. Colvin is still East Colvin Street exit, or it's like State Street, Brighton Ave.
Right. That's really what it is, but I always call it Colvin, right?
Yes, you're right. And everybody else does.
Does everybody do it? Do they do that?
They all call it Colvin Street. Yes. So that one will still be there. And then now we've added that second one, which is called East Glen. And so, and you're right, there hasn't been a sign there for a long time. But this week we're putting up the overhead sign so you'll know that that's an exit there for you to get off on. Because it was brand new and it wasn't there before, we didn't have an overhead sign up for it. And so now that we're installing that this week, and folks will be able to start using that. That is going to be a game changer for the folks who live in the valley. I mean, you get off and you go shoot right over to East Brighton Avenue. You don't have to do the whole jig and go around getting off at the Colvin Street exit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, the 481, 81, right now it's going to be business loop at some point, but right now, when will you be able to directly go to 481, which will be 81 at some point?
Okay, right. So you will be able to do that. So say, for example, this is for the listeners. If you're driving from Tully and you want to go all the way up to Cicero and you're not making any stops in the city of Syracuse, in Mattydale, and North Syracuse, any of those places, you will be able to take a direct shot from the Valley area all the way around up to Cicero. That's basically, you could do it now, but it'll be officially ready by the end of this year.
Okay.
So those interchanges that make those connections will be ready by the end of this year.
And then what about coming south on 81 currently to connect to what is currently 481?
Right. So now that one is, I believe, don't quote me. No, I'm just kidding. No, but that should be by October 31st. We're anticipating, weather dependent, that connection from Watertown, and you want to go all the way back down to Tully, you will not have to get off on an exit anymore. You'll just basically stay on 81 and just follow the signs, and you'll just go right on all the way around down to the Southern Interchange. So that is October 31st. We'll be opening that up.
That's a couple days.
Next week.
Love it. So things are moving, right? All right, here's another question I have. Over on the north side near Destiny, 2 bridges taken down. I'm like, why? It looks like, and then putting up another one. So tell me what that was about.
Okay, so in the Inner Harbor, number one, we're fixing an engineering design that, we're enhancing the safety. So if you're on 81 southbound and you're coming from, let's just say you left the airport and you're coming towards downtown, you used to see all these little exits, Gannett, Spencer, Division Street, and they were very close together, and it was a lot of on and off, getting on and off. And so what we're doing is we're taking those exits away and we're consolidating them into one exit at North Clinton Street. Okay. So we're doing a lot of work along North Clinton Street by Harborview Liquors, that area. We're revamping North Clinton Street so that we can put on and off ramps there, and you can see them. As you're driving 81 southbound, you'll see the ramps are ready to go, and both ramps, the on ramp and the off ramp, will be open by the end of this year. So folks leaving Destiny USA and you have to do a jig all the way to get back on the 81 southbound, you're not going to have to do that anymore by the end of this year. You'll be able to kind of do what you've done before, go up and get on that on ramp at North Clinton Street. So that's one thing. Now the bridges, because 81 northbound will be 4 lanes headed northbound once we're finished with our project. The bridges, the piers, they were not in the right, they were not lined up correctly on the highway for us to create the 4 lanes. So we had to demo those bridges. We have to demo the Court Street, the Spencer Street, and the Bear Street Bridge.
3 bridges, okay.
It'll be 3 bridges, yes. And so we had to demo them. We'll have to demo them and rebuild them. So we started with Court and Bear. So we took down we started with Spencer and Bear. So we took down Spencer Street Bridge, and we've taken down the Bear Street Bridge, and we've rebuilt them. The Spencer Street Bridge will be ready, just around Thanksgiving time. So that bridge will be open back up and people will be able to use that then. And then once we open the Spencer Street Bridge, we're going to start taking the Court Street Bridge down. And Bear Street Bridge will be open in the spring. So in the spring of next year, you'll see the Bear Street Bridge back open again. But that's the reason why. It's really because the piers were not in the right alignment for us to have 4 lanes headed northbound on 81.
And I see, and so that's why you see like it's so, I want to say, see my arms are pushing back. That's why it's so.
Yes, they're long. Yes, we had to lengthen them so that they fit over the new alignment on 81. Yes.
All right, let's go over to Teal Avenue. I see a lot of new ramps, secret ramps. You got to tell people don't get on them. What's going on with Teal Avenue?
Okay, so
not Teal Avenue. I mean 690.
Yes, 690 at Krause Avenue. So what we're doing there is we are putting in. Actually, we're going to have new exits at Irving Avenue, which is right around where the Time Warner building is or the Spectrum building is. You'll be able to get off of 690 there, and then you can get on to 690 headed eastbound at Krause Avenue. So Krause Avenue and Irving Avenue there's going to be new exits there, and they're replacing what currently is today the McBride on-ramp. So if you're downtown and you work downtown and you need to go 690 eastbound to DeWitt or Fayetteville, Manlius,
you're not getting
Thompson
on
Road,
McBride.
You can't take McBride anymore. You will end up you'll continue on Erie Boulevard till you get to Krause, and then you'll take Krause and you'll jump on there. And then so we're also, 690 westbound, the Townsend Street exit where everybody gets off at Townsend Street. Eventually, Townsend Street's going to close and you're going to get off at Krause, and then you have to jump over to Erie and then make your way into downtown that way. Ooh. So the Krause Avenue on-ramp to 690 eastbound, if you're headed to DeWitt, Fayetteville, Manlius, that ramp where it's almost ready to open. So that ramp will be open soon. I don't know, maybe by the end of the year, that ramp will be open. The day that we open that, we close McBride. So pay attention to app alerts. We have an app, the I-81 Connect app, that we send alerts through about when we're closing things and opening things.
Oh,
and
we need
closures.
That. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
See, I missed that. So thank you.
Yes,
I'm going to download that right after this conversation.
Yeah. I-81 Connect, it pushes alerts right to your phone and says, there's going to be a lane closure here. The road's going to be closed here. The highway's down. The ramps are closed. So pay attention to the app, pay attention to the news, anywhere, follow us on social media, anywhere you can get information, that's where we put out what's happening with the infrastructure, the transportation infrastructure. So when we open the Krause Ave on-ramp, we're closing the McBride one, and then the Townsend one is going to be a little bit longer because we still have to build the off-ramp from 690 westbound to Krause Avenue. And so you also see from Burnett Street, if you're on Burnett, you'll see that there's a ramp leading up to 690. Yes, I'm sure. Yes. And that ramp is not going to open for a while. It was something that we were able to build because we had the time. So we built that now, but that's not anticipated to open probably until sometime in 2026.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, and that ramp is just temporary for it's kind of like it's complicated. I could explain it to you, but it would take too much time. But
that's all right. We ain't gonna be able to use it. That's all I want to know.
Right.
All right, let's go back to Teal Avenue will stay open. I mean, it'll still be an exit on and off. So even though those exits are going to be kind of close when you think about it, right?
Well, they're not as so what's the difference between the close exits that there were on 81 southbound is that 81 southbound, you had on and off ramps at the same time. What this is, it's what we call a full exit between two streets. So if you're headed 690 eastbound, say you're coming from Camillus, you're only going to see an exit at Irving Avenue to get off of 690. Then the next exit will be Teal. Okay. You're not, and then there's Krause will come on, but so it's different than what's at 81 southbound. That's the best way I can explain.
There still will be the loop around from 690 to 81. That'll still be there when you're coming.
No.
Ooh.
No, 81.
Oh,
That's
because
part
that
of
will
the
be
one.
gone. Right, right. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
part of the
yeah.
1.4 miles. So
Right,
here's
right.
it. Yeah, so we have, I think one tip for listeners is that we have to reconstruct the entire 690 from like Leavenworth, if you know where that is. That is like just past, if you're coming westbound, it's like
I
after you
say,
pass Bear Street,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I
Um,
give people the creek walk. Go think of creek walk.
yeah, the creek walk. Yeah. So we're reconstructing 690 from there all the way to basically Krause Avenue, right before Teal there. So we're doing some of the work now. That's why you're stuck in that traffic on 690 eastbound and westbound. And then we're going to do the bulk of it starting next year and in 2027. So just be prepared for that. So, there's no one can escape being stuck in construction, I'll say. So just crack your patience, get the app. The
Oh,
app is really helpful. The best thing about Syracuse is that there's so many ways to get around. As long as you know where there's going to be an impact, you can like, you know what, I'm going to take this street, I'm going to take that street.
can you tell? Can we just have a pause here? Can you tell people how to merge because they don't know how to do it, and because they don't know how to do it, they cause traffic. If you just
Yes.
please, because
Mm-hmm.
this is what happens at McBride. Of course, it's all about me right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens at South McBride Street downtown. People get on the thing and then they panic. I gotta get over. I gotta get over. Whereas if you just if you just keep going in the flow of traffic, there will be room for you. I promise. But what
Yes.
happens is they stop and start and they try to get over right away and it causes a backup. TeNesha, would you just tell them what they should do?
You know what? You're absolutely right. And I was one of those people before I started working at the DOT that thought I'm very courteous. And I call them the courteous drivers. These are the courteous drivers who want to get over because they saw the sign that says a half a mile you have to get over. What that sign is really telling you is you're gonna in a half a mile, you will need to get over. Not right now. Go all the way up until it's the point where it's time for you to get over. Then you get over because what you're doing is you're leaving a whole lane over there for that car should be in. And we call this a zipper merge. So once you get up to the point where you can't go anymore, that's when you start taking turns and you're being courteous to other drivers. And that reduces the congestion in the backup in the one lane. So you have to use all the available lane space that you have. Don't get right over, go all the way to the top and then get over. And we've been messaging that through media and through social
Oh my
media. So we're
God.
hoping that people will get it and then be courteous once you're up there, and not try to get in and like, oh, I'm blocking because you trying to pass me.
Listen,
No.
here's what I noticed is that because people do it so early, they cause the backup because they're trying to get in, they're braking, they're trying to get in. Whereas TeNesha, I'm telling you, I get on, I just keep going, and I never have a problem. And I just never have a problem. And even though there's traffic and the people ahead of me are stopping and they're going over right away and they're going over right away, and I just keep going and it flows right in. So that was my PSA for
I love it.
I'm noticing a lot of construction on 81 North towards the Almond Street exit. Tell me what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, that is so just past Colvin Street, between Colvin Street and the East Adams exit, that is where we're starting to take the highway down to grade. So what we did all summer is we worked on 81 southbound so that we can move the cars on 81 southbound over to the side so we can fit the northbound cars on there too. So right now, 81 southbound just past Adams Street between, all the way probably up to like Colvin Street. All of 81 northbound and southbound is on that southbound side. And what that allowed us to do is to work on the northbound side and basically start to take it down to grade. So you see a massive excavation where we've ripped up all the roadway and we're going to start the decline to kind of take 81 down to grade. That's what you're seeing over
That's
there.
what you're seeing. And I know that there's going to be a new exit down there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
So if you're coming from Lafayette, Tully, headed northbound, there's going to be a new off ramp at Colvin. So you'll be able to, or a new exit at Colvin. So you'll be able to get off the highway headed northbound at Colvin Street to access the south side, or go up to Manley Fieldhouse, or get, or use that exit
that's
to
right,
make your way over to the hospitals.
because it's only at Brighton right now,
Right, right.
and it's
Well,
way
East Glen.
it will be. Oh, that'll be the Glen, right? The Glen exit now,
Yeah,
right?
it's East Glen, then it's Brighton, then it's going to be Colvin, and then it goes down to Gray.
Okay. Wow, it's so we're making progress. We're
We are.
making progress. What else do I need to know?
What else do you need to know? You know about the app. I think I hit all the points.
Yeah. All right, here's the other question for you. So we're taking 81 down the grade. When will, like, weather permitting, everything going smoothly, when will 81 as we know it now be gone?
When will
I mean,
when will
the let me reframe that. The 1.4-mile viaduct. When
when
will
it's
that be gone?
down, when
Yeah.
it's all the way down and it's gone, well, 2029.
Oh, okay. So we're about 4 years away then
Yeah.
from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4 years away for that. All right. So we got some time on that. And what other contracts have to be administered?
Very good question. So the project is structured in two phases. Okay. So it's two phases and 9 contracts. The first phase, basically, we built out the new 81 so that we have a place for cars to go when we take the highway down. So phase 1 consists of contracts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all of those contracts are in construction. That's Cicero, that's the Valley, the Inner Harbor, 690 eastbound and westbound near Teal, and then on the south side between Colvin and Adams Street. There are still 4 more contracts that we have to let, is what they call it, the technical term, but we have to put out there for contractors to bid on. That's contract 6, which is the reconstruction of 690. Contract 6A is what they call it, and that's basically where combining we're taking away right now there's a combined sewer overflow, so the water and the sewer all go into the same piping. We're separating that. So 6A is going to be us separating that. So, and that is going to be a huge benefit to the city of Syracuse, a huge benefit to the water system here. I can get into more of that later. But so that's 6A. And then there's contract 7, which is back in the Inner Harbor. And then finally contract 8, where we take where the viaduct comes down and we turn Almond Street into Business Loop 81.
All right, I just downloaded I-81 Connect, baby.
Hey. Oh, what we also do on that app this is the last tip I'll give. What we also do on the app is we tell you where those cars are going to be, where those speed cars, we call them the automated work zone speed enforcement vehicle. So basically those vehicles that give you tickets in the mail if you're speeding in the work zone, we tell you on the app where those are going to be. So that's another good reason to download the app. We'll say, hey, the car is going to be at 690, or it's going to be in Cicero, or it's going to be in the Valley, so give you a heads up when you're driving through those areas.
Yeah, because they got me. They got me. And I didn't know what that car was. I know what it is now. And
right.
They have trained me well, because if I see photo enforced, I'm putting it on, what's that called? Cruise control. And I don't care what you do behind me. Go right ahead, because they got me. They got
you, yes. And it's not, I do want to emphasize that we're not trying to get people. What we're trying to do is have people slow down in the work zone and pay attention, because people get killed. We have had someone this year from the DOT in another region die from a car entering into the work zone. So it is really to keep our workers safe and so that they can get home at night. It's not a gotcha in terms of we're making money off of you and we're taking points, and you don't lose any points. It doesn't go against your insurance. It's none of that. It's just to help you, remind you to slow down in the work zone.
A warning could do. You could just warn me. Why you got to
I
a
know.
ticket.
You missed the warning. That's what this is. That's what the app does. The app's gonna
I,
warn you.
I know that's right. But listen, y'all got me. You ain't gonna get me again because I see that thing. I'm like,
Yes.
well, TeNesha, so glad that you're in that role to break it down for us. I learned a lot, and it's we're up to date now. We know what's going on, and for some of us, there'll be a lot of relief at the end of the year, and for others of us, we got some more time. So
That's right. But it's
but
all in the name of progress. Let me tell you, this is going to be a different city in 4 years. It's going to
yeah,
be modern. It's going to be walkable. It's going to be bikeable. It's going to be connected. We're reconnecting the community. It's going to be a different Syracuse. It's going to be one of those cities you travel when you travel somewhere and you see like, man, it's nice here. That's what they're going to say about Syracuse.
well, I love it, and but we're dealing with it now, that's for sure. It's so funny because people who've been away and they come back, how y'all dealing with this? It's like, you know what? Look, it's only temporary because we still getting around and we'll be all right. We'll be all right. As long as you know, like coming, especially coming from the train station, now I know I'm not gonna go through the mall because it's gonna take me all the way back down to Solar Street. So I'm just
Right.
gonna go to Solar Street and then come back.
Love it.
Listen, TeNesha, thank you for the information, and we're always here to inform the community. That's what we do. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I don't want to be a stranger, so invite me back.
You got it. You will be invited back. TeNesha Murphy, Public Information Officer for the New York State Department of Transportation, helping to keep us informed about what's going on. And let's continue to work. Inspiration for the nation.